I figured it was unceremonious of me to end the channel with a community wall post, for the second time, I know. So I decided to give some brief summaries of the videos I wanted to pursue and leave with some closing thoughts. As I stated on my community wall, I just lack the time to create videos. It's incredibly time consuming to make them dynamic. And once I agreed to help a documentary filmmaker with a project, I knew immediately that I didn't want to spend my free time doing YouTube. Besides, there's more to do in Cleveland than the college town I previously lived in. Given how YouTube analytics work, I'll give my closing thoughts first. For years, I have heard men and women claim that the red pill exists for a variety of reasons: women's behavior, single motherhood, and the rejection of a social script taught to boys at a young age.
It's probably because young men don't have people to look up to anymore. And who does that fall on the shoulders of? Modern mothers and their crappy mate selection. The manosphere wouldn't exist if men had masculine fathers. Point blank, period, the end.
There's a reason why the red pill exists. And to say that, oh, that, there's all these people and it is so easy, it invalidates their real lived experience.
These arguments are simplistic tools of analysis. When examining the behaviors and attitudes of a collective group of people, it is pertinent to examine macro issues. At no moment in history did people wake up and randomly decide to behave differently out of thin air. I think the forces behind thousands or whatever amount of young men following this community deals with the shortcoming of young men in many Western societies. Sociologists and cultural commentators have long been documenting the change in gender norms, which historically have always gone through various transformations. Young men today make less than their parents when adjusted for inflation. The good-paying jobs that require nothing more than a high school diploma have been vanishing for decades. An increasing amount of jobs require a college degree, and women make up the majority of college enrollment and about 3/4 of all high school valedictorians. However, men and women are still being socialized into traditional understandings of manhood and womanhood. Thus, the red pill does talk about serious issues concerning men that the overall society far too often neglects, but much of its understandable anger is misdirected at feminism and women overall. And when you have a group of frustrated young men, there will be plenty of grifters who all claim they sincerely care about men's welfare, but in reality, it's the blind leading the blind. So without further ado, and in no particular order, I'll go through the various videos I wanted to make. There were ideas I toyed with and didn't pursue because I never fleshed out the argument, or I felt it was too harsh. For example, I thought about examining the Manosphere's obsession with using failed as an adjective when referring to individuals it dislikes. It's like everyone on YouTube is a failed blogger, failed rapper, failed swirler, failed parent, and it goes on and on. Someone even called me a failed PhD candidate, which isn't true, of course. It's always confused me because everybody in life has failed at something, but the space like using it as a defining characteristic of a person. In regard to being too harsh, I toyed with making a parody video about Lilbignate titled Eulogy to a Future Mass Shooter. If you don't know who Lilbignate is, then good. He's one of those YouTubers who has a deep disdain for women, particularly black women, and rails about it on his YouTube videos.
Just like nobody's forcing themselves on you and making you have unprotected sex, you irresponsible fucking whores. Why can't you goddamn manage your vagina better? Nothing but fucking excuses and unaccountability from these devils on the left. I don't give a fuck about your goddamn feelings. You are animals. I tell you to your fucking face what I think about you bitches. You are monsters.
He sometimes left comments on my page calling me effeminate, a Fruit Loop, and has an odd obsession with rectums. I honestly wouldn't be shocked if I saw him one day on national television, and not for a good reason. Other topics I toyed with dealt with the Manosphere promoting tricking despite its illegality.
The majority of the passport bros promote tricking. Like the vast majority of the past women.
I've literally seen live streams where men have admitted to tricking on women for $60, and others promoted as a better alternative to dating. Another topic dealt with how many Manosphere content creators use YouTube as a substitute for friendship. Kevin Samuels literally celebrated his birthday with YouTubers who didn't even live in the same city. It's like many content creators use YouTube to build a community and have a sense of importance. Some have even mourned and cried over fallouts with YouTubers who they never met nor would even recognize in public. But I think this behavior is indicative of the growing issue of loneliness in Western societies. In fact, the amount of men and women who report not having a single friend has increased in recent decades. And there were some large topics I wanted to cover, and I'll do a little bit more elaboration. The first video was titled, quote, "How Kevin Samuels Fooled 1.5 million People." The number refers to his subscribers, but more so, I was curious about how Samuel's followers came to see him as a high-value man, even though, to my knowledge, he never referred to himself that way. In addition, many people fell for his lies that he created about himself and shrugged when Samuels contradicted himself. Case in point.
Entrepreneurs, job seekers, anyone wanting to improve their image. Kevin graduated from the University of Oklahoma with a chemical engineering degree and is now based in Atlanta. Damn.
Kevin graduated from the University of Oklahoma with a chemical engineering degree and is now based in Atlanta. Damn. Hey, man, somebody let Hitch hit a joint. Right.
Social sciences have long analyzed confirmation bias and how in experiments, when purposefully given inaccurate information, people still cling on to what they originally convinced themselves was true. Human beings are great at spotting out weaknesses in someone else's argument, but rarely can point out the weaknesses in their own argument. Your brain is hardwired to protect you when winning a debate or an argument triggers a flood of hormones, including dopamine and adrenaline, which are similar rushes one experiences during sexual pleasure. But this observation doesn't fully explain the ardent support for Samuels and how he came to fool people into believing his lies. The answer, I argue, is twofold. First, most of Samuels' supporters didn't come across him until he blew up, which means that they missed his 5 previous years on YouTube where his camera quality and setup wasn't up to par. Second, during his rise, he received affirmations from prominent individuals from all walks of life. Never underestimate the power of celebrity. It's no secret that Kevin Samuels lied. A lot. No, like a lot. Check out Red Pill Examines compilation videos of Samuels making ludicrous claims like paying nearly $10,000 for an apartment in Oklahoma City, even though if you look at apartments.com or Zillow, you won't find an apartment half that price. So yeah, these are the video topics I ponder about but lack the drive and time to pursue them. But now I'm off to bigger and better things, and to be honest, 4 years was way too long to watch a habitually repetitive online community of people who hope to gain relevancy through trauma bonding.